Hello, fellow peasants. So summer's coming up. Tomorrow is the 1st of June, and summertime usually means a lot of blockbuster hits, a lot of action movies. And so I kind of wanted to kick the summer off with my top 5 favorite action films, summer blockbuster type films. I guess overall just my top action films of all time. And so number 5, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Way better than the first movie. The first Terminator is okay, but I don't know. It's not on the scale that Judgment Day is. Number 1 just feels like a cheap apocalypse movie, and I don't know. It just doesn't really add up to this. And James Cameron did a badass job directing this. One of the top movies of all time. Number 4, Casino Royale, 007. I remember when this came out in 2006, 2007, being a big fan of it. Daniel Craig, everyone was super skeptical whether or not he'd be a decent Bond after Pierce Brosnan left the franchise. But he ended up being my favorite Bond, even though I grew up in the 90s with Pierce Brosnan. Daniel Craig has done an excellent job, and I'm not quite sure who's going to replace him. It's going to be tough to fill his shoes, but yeah, 007, Casino Royale, one of the best Bond films and one of the best action films of all time. Number 3, First Blood with Sylvester Stallone. This is the original First Blood. This isn't part 2 or Last Blood or anything like that. I've seen all the Rambo movies. They're all decent, but this is the best. If you've never seen this, definitely check it out. It's not over-the-top action all the way through. It's not really... There's like action at the beginning, action towards the end. In the middle, it's more of him just kind of hanging out in the woods, trying to hide from the cops. But one of the best movies out there in terms of action movies. Originally, I guess, in the script, he had a lot of dialogue, and in the editing room, he was like, oh my God, this is horrible. And so he just cut out a bunch of his dialogue. And you don't really hear Sylvester Stallone talk too much in the movie, and it kind of works out that way. That's a fun little fact for the film. Number 2 in line, Taken. Taken is one of those movies where I can just watch it over and over on repeat. I don't know how many times I've seen this. I've probably seen this 20, 30 times. It's a classic. You can't beat it. Typical bad guys take the daughter. You got to go fucking kill the bad guys scenario. And so he's basically like ex-CIA. He's retired or something. His daughter goes off to vacation, and not vacation, but she goes off on a U2 tour. And these sex traffickers over in France kidnap her and her friend. And he basically comes out of retirement to find the bad guys and kill their asses. And it's pretty sweet. It's a sweet movie. Liam Neeson at his finest. And, of course, it's probably predictable what my number 1 action movie of all time is. It's number 1 on everybody's list, pretty much. And that is the original Die Hard with Bruce Willis. This is a franchise that really took a shit. It really shit the bed when it came to the last film. Up until the 5th film, the franchise was decent. The first film was an instant classic. Number 2 was good. I liked 3 more than number 2. Number 4 was decent. A little over the top towards the end with him riding on a jet and all that. But overall, the first 4 films were pretty consistent in terms of quality. And but the first one is the best. Some say it's the number 1 Christmas movie of all time. I didn't used to believe it was a Christmas movie, but I mean, when you really think about it, there's a lot of Christmas shit going on in this movie. And so, yeah, guys, that's my top 5 action films of all time. Let me know what your top 5 are down in the comments below. I know everyone's lists are different, so if my list doesn't look like your list, that's okay, because I don't give a fuck what your list is, and, vice versa, So let me know your list. If this doesn't jive with your list, that's okay. But other than that, have a good day. I appreciate you guys watching, and peace out, peasants.